Okay, so here we go again. Unknown to you guys, this will be the sixth video to try and cover these webbing sets. The first, the sound was echoey and awful. I fixed that problem. Then we have the blurriness of the weird shaky camera. That's still listed. I then did 3 separate videos showing them on the mannequin to alleviate that problem, but then the echoey sound was back, so I deleted all of those. So at the moment you've only got the blurry one. That will eventually go, and I think 3 videos we can do this in. It may be 4. I don't want to tell you, this is quite a learning curve for me, this YouTube thing, using cameras and video. So we just have to learn as we go along, unfortunately. Right, anyway, we've got asked for some requests on examples of webbing. All the webbing sets we use are all 502s, 101st 502. They're all very, very similar. I keep looking at the wrong screen. I should look at that one, but it's just a pretty bright light. All the webbing sets are all similar. They're all based around pistol belt, suspenders, rigger pouches, and then the usual things. Carlisle pouch, water bottle, an E-tool, shoulder pads, and that. But there are some small variations between them. Pistol belts, do not bother buying reproduction ones. There is absolutely no point. Originals, they're around 25 quid. Reproductions are exactly the same price. But originals are designed and were made to last a war, literally. Reproductions are for walking around, promenading, and you know, and that sort of thing. They are not made to the same standard as wartime belts. Just buy an original; it's the same price. Just have a look out there. There's loads that come from countries like Greece, even Russia, where they were used for after the post-war, part of the Lend-Lease projects during the war. They're out there. Just have a good look around. So. Everyone needs an M96 pistol belt. They did not use cartridge belts. The 101st Glider, I think it's a 326 or 327, so I always get those two confused. They did, yes, but company, infantry, parachute do not. So if you're 501, 502, 506, pistol belt. Rigger pouches. Do not buy the rubbish that's out there. Unless it comes from HTC, just don't buy it. All this nonsense about small rigger pouches, medium rigger pouches, large rigger pouches. That's how they come. They fit 4 M blocks, 2 HE Frag Mark IIs. They fit 2 carbine mags and a box of 50 ammo, or 5 carbine mags. HTC, Harrison Tent Company, will make them for you to order. They're 10 quid each. I mean, you're going to pay pretty much that at Soldier of Fortune anyway. So why not get something made out of canvas from a company who only makes things from canvas? They will last. You will not destroy these. They are the correct colour. They are the correct size. Don't buy the rubbish. You'll only waste your money and have to replace it. Rigger pouch. They generally wore between 2 and 4. I'm sure you can find examples of possibly wearing more. I know there's some 3rd Battalion 506 where they've got 4 at the front, they've got 2 on the belt, and then they've got 2 on the suspenders vertically. Or I think they're actually horizontally. They may have put holes in them to keep them up the right way. We do D-Day +2 +3, so this is the only set which has a drop rope on it that's here out of the 4 sets. For some reason, this guy still has it. Of course, most would have just thrown it in a bush or in a hedgerow, or just ditched it, given it to a French farmer. It was not needed. Canteens, cover, canteen. Lots of the 502 had the metal cap. They did have the black one as well. It's only that the metal cap stands out a mile in all the pictures. This is the 1910 version with the... Oh, I think I've thrown everything away. All my props are over there. Okay, I'll show you the back of the 1910 version. It's just a flap with a hanger. They are getting more and more harder to find, and the price of canteen covers and water bottles is going up and up and up. Check ebay.com, not co.uk. You will get a much better price, even with the shipping to the UK. There is no elite super duper paratrooper airborne version. That's utter nonsense. That's the 1942 pattern. It's just reinforced with the 2 strips across the top. But you'll see that in another video. Carlisle pouch, again, these used to be everywhere for £5 a pop. They are going up and they are becoming harder to find. Try and avoid using reproductions. They just always look off. There's just something about them. You know, if everything's original, except riggers, because you're not going to find them, it all matches, it's all uniform, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want anything standing out looking a bit weird. If you can get original ones, get it. Hunt around, you will find them. There's 1,000,001 different manufacturers out there. This is a Lee 1942, and the rest of this from great companies like Cadillac Fabrics, and there's something, it almost reads like the Betty Crocker Food Company, but it's not quite that thing. It's a, you know, a real old lady's name, like Dorothy something something. And there's a website that lists that list loads of them, and yeah, there's some amazingly cool manufacturers out there. Everybody had an e-tool of different variety. This is a full length M1910 shovel. Some of them used to be cut down. The paratroopers would cut them down to make them smaller, so you're not tripping on them, catching on things. You can use the M10, you can use the M43 if you're having a shovel. If you're going down the route of pick mattock, you get 2 for every 10 men. If you're going to have an axe, that's 1 in 10 men, and the other 7 have shovels. Yeah, there's a cat on my lap, by the way. It won't leave me alone. Yes, hello Bertie, thank you. The third rigger pouch, and again, all the rigger pouch have M-block clips in them. They're cheap enough that, you know, there's no reason not to have actual rounds and actual grenades in them. In Mr. Up 44, you are allowed 1 piece of British webbing per set. Great, and now my phone decides to go off. Excellent. On this set is a British-made suspenders. You'll notice that the buckle has a little cutout. You can just about see it there. And the typical British buckles with the 2 holes in it. I know it's hard to see. If you look in the pictures closely, a lot of the 502 did get British kit from Carlisle pouches, suspenders, Musette. Let me mute my phone. Thanks, Danny. Musette bags. Some of the e-tool covers were done. There's wire cutters done in the British made. So you will see these things. Only 1 piece. Any more than 1 piece, and you start going down the realms of Farby nonsense. You know, yeah, they're a bit different. Wearing more than 1, it's not cool. It just looks odd. So you're allowed 1 and 1 only. Every paratrooper had felt pads. You can't quite see them. They go on the shoulders. They look like you've laid some carpet in the wrong place. I hate them, but you just have to have them. Without that, it's just wrong. There's no other way of putting it. It's just wrong. I know it's not webbing related, but a ripped up gas brassard, yeah, they don't last. I mean, this is actually made like that because, you know, what's the point having a complete one if you're going to do after, you know, D-Day +1, +2. These things did not last. They're cardboard and paper. You go crawl through a hedge with a piece of paper on your arm, you know, when it's going to be wet, raining, miserable. It ain't going to look like the ones you buy from Soldier of Fortune. It's just not going to look like that. Obviously it doesn't have the Musette bag on the back, because with that on there you can't see everything else. It clips on the D-rings on the front, as everybody should know, which is... Let's just tip that back a little bit without blinding you with the ceiling light. So it clips onto the D-rings, as you know, and the strap that is underneath on the webbing, you don't clip onto your belt. It goes under your arm, clips to the D-rings on the bottom of the mess tin. A mess tin? No, it doesn't. On the Musette bag. And you wear it like a rucksack. So many people have both of these clipped to your belt. And what happens is, when your Musette's got weight in it, it pulls the front of the belt up. And it literally holds your boobs up like that. And then it yanks the bag down to your asshole. It just looks absurd. You know, if you don't wear it properly, it's crazy. Unless, of course, you're one of these guys who has a flat Musette bag with nothing in it, in which case then that will be fine, because it will just sit on your back. It's not fine, by the way. Okay, simple. Really, really easy to do. Which leads me to asking one question. How the hell does everybody do it so badly? There's just... my mind absolutely boggles. Sorry, cat, I need to... Oh, I need to grab a couple of props that I launched over here that I can't sit. Ah, there we go. There we go. That's why I threw everything. So you tend to find a lot of people wear these, the M1 ammo pouch. No, it's not a carbine pouch. It takes M blocks and it takes carbine mags. There is one 502 member that I know of who had one of these on their belt. It's right on the front centre as well, and that was Forrest Guth from 506. I don't know what battalion. So odd people did wear them. Moron. But what they didn't have is the eyelets on the bottom. That is post D-Day, creeping up into Market Garden, that sort of thing. So if you really want one of that type without the eyelets, you can have one, but keep it within moderation to the group. You don't want to see more than one, possibly two, using these unless you have a big group, because they didn't use them. It's all rigger pouches. You just shouldn't have these. Yeah, there is no reason to have them. Throw that away. Also try and avoid anything World War One webbing related. Yeah, you can get, obviously do not use cartridge belts. You get that style of Carlisle pouch. Although they are nicer, I agree. I can't see any of these in all the pictures of the 502 I've looked at. If you ever see them, you're probably going to see them on something like a regimental officer, you know, because, you know, they just seem to have odd kit. When you see them with 45s, you'll see them with the World War One sort of the World War One mag, twin mag pouch. I don't know why, no idea. Again, you'll notice that this is a proper set of webbing and doesn't have a 45 holster on it. Because, well, guess what? You don't get one. You just should not have a 45 unless you're at regimental level, and even then, it's only the senior. This cat is stupid. It's only the senior officers that get them. Everybody else would get a carbine. So unless you're doing a sort of non-combat impression, you don't get one. It's just farb nonsense again. You're just playing dress up. You're not reenacting. You're certainly not living history. So avoid 45 holsters, and obviously avoid the mag pouch which goes with the 45. I mean, there was a guy in another video, he said he had three 45 mag pouches. What the hell was he? Just going to fight the entire war with his 45? You tell me. You tell me. So, simple, easy. What's difficult about it? I just don't understand how people mess it up. So this one isn't all taped up because it's not been adjusted to the person who's going to wear it. So hence all the straps are loose, but we'll cover that sort of thing. What are we on? 13 minutes. Oh, do you know what? If I throw the cat on the floor, I can chuck another set of webbing on this and we might be able to squeeze it into 2 videos. So bear with me a second. Cat, go on, go down. Ow. And don't feel sorry for the cat. She's an arse. Okay. Try not to throw. That's quite heavy. You bear with me because I busted my knee today. I shouldn't be allowed to ride motorbikes. It's not a good thing. Okay. Next set. Ow! Right in the knee. Of course. Should have guessed. Okay. Let's just ping this on here. Okay. Okay. Well, that went easier than expected. If anybody's used to hoiking around their webbing and putting it on them, you'll know that every time you pick it up, it's just like a tangled ball of string, or like when you put headphones for phones in your pocket. You roll them up nice and neatly, you put them in your pocket, you take them out, and the whole thing is tied into 50 knots. How? Okay, so same as before, felt shoulder pads, you have to have them. Yes, I hate them too. And again, this set isn't taped up because it's not measured to size. This is Sergeant Zoid's webbing set. And in fact, that is Sergeant Zoid's jacket as well. Without the stripes because they are sitting on my desk, waiting to be sewn on. So, same as before, pistol belt suspenders. These are US suspenders, and you'll notice that these are the ones that are over the top this time, because these suspenders have been made wrong. Everything is back to front. I actually had to unpick the back and re-sew it because it didn't work as a set of suspenders. They were unissued, and well, frankly, a bit of a bodge job. You couldn't actually put them on properly. It was impossible. So yeah, all of this is a bit back to front. So I think there's 4 rigger pouches. They used black tape, fabric tape, not shiny electrical tape. A mistake a lot of people use is to use that shiny tape. No, it was not used. Let's tip that down a little bit so I can just see the light. So white tape was also used. I have no idea why they had excess white tape. I mean, black tape, you always see it in, like, you know, sort of demolitions kits and that sort of thing. But white was also used. There's some video footage of the 502 going to the planes. And you can clearly see white tape around different things, including a 43 shovel cover that's got sort of a crisscross pattern. So something is obviously taped on there. Have not got a clue what. It's just not clear enough to see. But it could be anything. It could be a pack of cigarettes. It could be a cricket. Who knows? It's just a pure guessing game. And I wouldn't even like to speculate what it could be. So in that one is 2 frags. In that is M blocks. I'm sure there's an M blocks. This is the only set weapon I have with a reproduction Carlisle tin. Oh no, it's not. That's an original one. So much for me being an expert. Hey. Oh yeah. It's still sealed. Most of my Carlisle tins are open, and I fill them full of useful things, because what is the point carrying around one giant solid old manky bandage? You can fill the tin full of paracetamols, ibuprofen, antihistamine, plasters, spare light bulbs for a torch. Useful things that will actually help you, or the people around you if they decide to hack off their hands with an axe or something. Okay, so on this set, random sellotape. On this set, there was a British-made water bottle cover, identified by the 4, dear God, can't even count, 4 rows of stitching. It's a bit of an odd colour, but it's been in storage for many years. Unissued. It just looks a bit odd. Down one side, it's almost white, where it's obviously been sat in a box that's open or sat on a shelf. You see a lot of equipment, a lot of guys that double stack, I've called it. I don't know, it probably doesn't have a name, where they use the buttons on the top of the belt for extra carrying capacity. Usually small things like Lensatic compasses, Carlisle pouches. But you can hang things above the T-handle shovel if you put the T-handle shovel on the right way, and the canteen fits in perfectly to the curve, if it's right, the curve of the shovel. Wear it the other way around the shovel. Wear it almost what you consider back to front. The shovel will lean away from your body, not into your body, and be whacking you in the knees and the back of the legs. This one is a cut down one. It's a What Price Glory one. They're actually very good. I'm very impressed with that. So the handle has been taken apart and shortened. Obviously they make them like that, but that's what would have been done by some. The cover is a GI Supply repro. If you have an M1 Garand, you have to have a bayonet. There are no exceptions to this. You either have an M1 Garand, which 99.99% of the guys in the 501, 525 had, or if you're an officer or one of the guys in the LMG team and the mortar team, not everybody, only a couple of them get them, you get the M1A1 carbine. That is the only 2 weapons you should be carrying. No Thompsons, no 45s. If you're at company HQ, they were issued 6 grease guns. Now, nobody was given those or told to carry them, but you can spot the guys some of the guys that are in company headquarters, like captains, first lieutenants, that are carrying those. Now, they're the only rank, the only captain in like 502, that sort of level, is company headquarters. Oh, the cat's back, what a surprise. So you will see that, and that's what they've done. They've swapped their carbine and they've taken an M3 grease gun, and only the M3 with the cocking handle. The M3A1 is right at the end of the war, going post-war into Korea and things. So make sure you don't get the one without the big chunky cocking handle. So you can get reproductions that are, yeah, they're okay. They're just about good enough, and they're always marked UC on the blade. What is this one? Is this an original one? Oh no, this is a repro. You can pick up the scabbards, original scabbards sometimes, really, really cheap. They should not have, you can't quite see them, a big brass tip on the bottom. If it does, it's probably Italian post-war that's been reconditioned and armour plated. You can take those off. There's sometimes 4 little holes where the tiny rivets have gone through. You can fill them, though you can get original scabbards actually really cheap if you can be bothered to do a bit of work for them. As well as your bayonet, you have to have an M3 knife. Now, lots of guys obviously wore it on their boot with the cot strap. We will look at cot straps in a minute, because utility straps, paratrooper leg straps are not a thing. They just do not exist. This is an M8A1 scabbard that's been refurbished by HTC to make it an M8 scabbard. So the strap's been turned around the other way, the webbing's been changed, the rivets have been redone, it's been repainted, it's been reparkerized, and they offer that service because you can get M8A1 scabbards sometimes really, really cheap. I think I paid £5 for that scabbard at Malvern. So look about if you want the M8. If you don't, if you want to go with the M7, M6, one of those two, the leather one, then they are easy to find for reproductions. The knife is an original. Italians repurposed these during the war. They've ground off the manufacturer's details. It's still got the flaming grenade ball on the base. And then M36 suspenders. Again, buy original ones, same as the pistol belt. Pistol belts are always unissued. You'll find them cheap. They're £25. Suspenders you pay a little bit more for, but check out AGM, Advanced Guard Military in the States. They have, well, they had boxes of unissued originals made by Hinson. I think they're all 42 or 43 dated, and they are stunning. They really are nice suspenders. And I think I was paying about £25, maybe a touch more. They will ship them to the UK through a more friendlier means than the sort of usual method. So have a chat with them, possibly do a group order with members of the group, and it will cut down the price of shipping. But their shipping was very fair. I ordered 2 huge boxes, and I mean huge boxes of stuff, and I think I paid about $50 or something like that. I don't know whether it was offset by the amount of money I spent on the other stuff, or they just are genuinely that cheap. But a great company, very, very friendly, very helpful. Again, another beaten up. Oh, that's the same jacket, isn't it? Ignore me, I'm an idiot. Only other thing worthy of mention on the jacket is the patch. It's a Type 5 or 6? 5. Yes. For your patches, avoid everything other than the ones from Green Army products. All of the others look like post-war scribble-eyed crap. They don't even look wartime, most of them. They just look like absolute junk. In fact, I have 2 on my desk, I think. I can definitely see one. I mean, there's an example of, it's just absolute junk. Look at that monstrosity. Oh no, there is another one up here. And then you can't feel this one, but it's like rubber. It's awful. Go Green Army Productions. Yeah, Green Army Productions, not products. Have a chat with them on there. Stefan, he seems to be the kiddie. His patches are amazing. They don't just do Type 5. They do, you name an Airborne patch. They do 101st, 82nd. I don't know if they do 17th or 11th. I'm not sure. I wouldn't look at them if they were there. They also do the cap badges for garrison caps, all the types. They are stunning patches. They really are. And I think they work out £10, maybe a touch more. So you pay a little bit more for them, but it's a patch you can be proud of. And you should be proud to wear that on the shoulder. You don't deserve to wear that. Nobody does. I certainly don't. But you can't do this without it. So at least give it the attention and the respect it deserves. Have a decent looking patch. For the sake of £10. What's £10? So, what else is worthy of a mention? I think that are those 2 sets of webbing done. So again, it needs taping up because this has only just been put together for Sergeant Zoid. So when he comes round, we can adjust it so it fits, tape up all the suspenders, whack the musette on it, and he'll have his webbing. And by then I may have even sold his sergeant's ropes on. Maybe. I hate sewing. It's one of the things that drives me mad in this hobby. Who knew doing living history would involve so much goddamn sewing? You're always sewing things. Okay. Well, I think I've condensed the time a lot doing it this way. Right, I'm going to pause it there and change over the webbing, and we will continue in part 2. Okay, laters.